Good Wednesday morning, all you lot heads. It is Wednesday, midway point in the week, and thanks for joining me this morning on The Wrap with Dez. I am your host, Dez. Yeah, that's me. That is me. So Wednesday morning, it is early, man. It's 4:15 this morning, so if you're up with me this early, you got some money to be made, and you're out there hustling, and we're getting our thing done. So here's to you. We're both up, and this is how much I love you guys. So I'm up at 4. I'm up at 3:45 just to get here and get this done, get it posted so that you guys can be updated on the week going forward. So welcome back, all you dusty gloved diehards. This is The Wrap with Dez, Hot Corner Edition. I'm hoping to keep it pretty hot, pretty short, but we know how that goes. So welcome back, all you dusty gloved diehards, to The Wrap with Dez Hot Corner Edition. This is the only podcast where sarcasm slides into home and realism gets ejected for arguing balls and strikes. So wherever you are in your day, good morning, good evening, good early morning, and good luck if you're headed to Friday's matchup. You're back with your old pal Dez, riding the mic like a bullpen car after 3 Red Bulls. And today we're talking all things sandlots, standings, and screwball scheduling decisions that came from the league office like a fastball to the ribs. Let's talk the real. The real is the sandlots are holding tight in second place at 4-4. And you can call it mid-pack or you can call it the best of the rest, whichever sounds a lot cooler. And I think the best of the rest. You know what? That probably look better on a t-shirt too. So hey, Bruce, if you're listening, we need something that sounds a little like that. But here is where things get juicy. On Friday, we have a showdown against the Yotes and Stros, who are sitting pretty at 7-1. And this is more than just a stat padding skirmish. It's definitely a rivalry, a measuring stick, a chance to rattle the cage of a team that thinks that they've got this league wrapped tighter than a brand new Rawlings. Bunch of great guys over there on the Yotes and Stros, no doubt about that. But man, when we step between those chalk lines, there's no love lost, and this is a rivalry. You know, just to keep things spicy, Manager Raspberry's out this week. I believe I mentioned that on Monday. He's going to be gone like your batting average after that third swing. So who's going to be steering the ship? That is going to be a very important thing this Friday because the Sandlots will need some direction in the absence of Raspberry. So in this case, it'll be bench coach Derek Surley, a man whose strategy book is mostly crossed out bingo cards and post-it notes that just say try harder. But man, we love Derek, and he always does a great job filling in. But hold up, because there is a plot twist coming. We got rainouts, we got reschedules, and we've got league president quotes, baby. Yeah, John Begerle joined us last night. I had a conversation with him and just kind of get an update on what's going on within the league. There's some drama, possibly. Drama? What? In a men's amateur baseball league? There's drama? Yeah, there is. So hold on tight, because we're going to dive into the rainout schedule roulette and what it means for the standings. And if this extended season opens the door for chaos. Also, all-star game rumors. More on the Spike drama, as I promised. And Friday night's game breakdown. Let's not say breakdown. Let's say keys to the game. I like to give you my keys to the game. So stay caffeinated. Grab your Dubby. I've got mine right here, just freshly made. And guess what? I did not forget my Dubby tumbler this morning. I've got the black Dubby tumbler with the Dubby logo in like a, let's call this a turquoise blue. Got mine early on in the season to try this stuff out. It's been great for me. It works great, especially since I'm up this morning and, man, just trying to get get things going. And you know what's weird about other energy drinks, and I found this out by reading. They are made with an ingredient called scatitol, and that just does not sound appetizing to me. A little bit of research will tell you that scatitol is a chemical derived from fecal matter. That is not a great way to start your morning unless you're Shooter McGavin, who eats you know what for breakfast. Not W though. Hey, W is pretty much all natural. It's made from coffee bean extract. The dyes, there are never any dyes used. All the colors come from vegetables, so that's a great thing. It's also got plenty of vitamins for your mental focus, and that's what I use W for, is just for the ability to focus on tasks, both at work and on the ball field. So if you have any trouble focusing and just kind of getting through your day, feeling not tired and stuff like that, and you're tired of those energy drinks that just leave you feeling jittery, like you're a 20-year-old going to the club and somebody offers you a bag of some white powder. Yeah, no, you don't want that feeling. You want to feel good. You want to feel focused. You want to get on the ball. You want to be on point. So if that's you, give W a try today. Go to WGG. Use code SANDLOTS471 at checkout for a little nice discount there. Also, each purchase helps the Sandlots. We are partner with W, so any small portion of the sales goes to our Sandlot budget to help us continue to bring you these podcasts, bring you exciting new uniforms and things of that nature. So help us out. Go get yourself some W today. Again, WGG is where you can find it. And don't forget to enter code SANDLOTS471 at checkout. All right, so let's just take a quick spin around the league here. Headline one, let's go right here. So this season, it was decided by the city of Fort Worth that no baseball spikes. Those are cleats with metal spikes used for better grip, stuff like that. They banned the use of those on Citi Fields. Apparently, some players' cleats were doing more damage. Oh my God, more damage than the Rangers pitching. I think we did the damage last Friday night, but anyhow, the league says the spikes are being reviewed for compatibility with the player surface. Translated, that means somebody tripped, blamed the ground, and now we all got to play in crocs. Actually, I think what the problem was the 6-foot hole in the batter's box, especially, of course, right-handed batter's boxes throughout the league. And also the mound, there was, after some use, it would create a little small hole. Anyhow, the league was citing that maintenance issues were becoming a problem. Not so much of a safety thing or anything like that. It was more of this trying to take care of the fields. And they felt that getting rid of metal spikes was the solution. Now listen. Since baseball was created and actually became a professional pastime, I just believe that metal baseball spikes were just part of the game. I don't think that they do any damage to the field. If anything, they help conditions at these ballparks. Hats off to the city of Fort Worth for keeping these fields maintained, keeping them looking nice. But I do have to be honest here and say that, some of the fields, or most of the fields that we play on, especially at Rockwood, the infield, the red clay dirt that we play on is just, it's the top layer is pretty much just like adobe brick, that clay mixture that the Indians used to use. They baked it in the sun until it became hard as a brick, and they were able to use it for construction purposes. If you were to cut out probably a 6-inch layer of the top of that field, you'd probably have yourself a brick. It's very dangerous. It's very painful to slide on these surfaces. But just the other day, actually Friday night, we were trying to dig out the holes to find the base connections to plug the bases in. We had to do some digging, and to get to that next layer where it was any kind of soft, you had to go down about 6 inches. But once you were down there, it actually felt like it was supposed to feel soft, a little moist, and it just felt, I was like, man, where is this at? Where is this at? And to have metal spikes on the top 6-inch portion actually breaks up that hard concrete feel, that compact, just baked in the sun feel, and it kind of breaks it up, makes it a little bit more friable, soft. The downside of that is that it creates so much dust. The wind kicks up for any length of time, and you just got a sandstorm going, dust storm. But the fact that the league cited that as a detriment to the field conditions, that being the metal spikes, that just didn't quite make a whole bunch of sense to us. And so the league president, John Beggarly, has been in conversations with the city about this issue and seems to be making some progress. I spoke to him last night. I didn't get any audio of this, but this was all by text, so bear with me. I'm going to read you some of this and just kind of summarize it for you. But he's been in conversations with the league, and it seems like they're at least willing to listen. So with the league being ready to listen and kind of take our input, that's some progress here. Yeah, there's still some drama as to whether or not the changes are going to be made at this point. I don't think the changes or any changes will be made this season. So we're probably talking about, next season overturning that rule, possibly, if the city is willing to do that and we can offer them some incentive to do so. I'd like to think that we love playing on these fields. We'd like to have an opportunity to play on more fields. So what can we do as players, as teams in this league, to just make sure that we leave the field as good or in a better condition as we started on? And maybe that would give the league some incentive. If we kind of make an investment, a sweat investment in helping the league maintain these fields, hey, they might be even more willing to let us have our way with this issue. So going forward, at this point, Beggarly didn't have really any suggestions as to what we could do, but I believe in the off-season meetings we'll have some discussions on what we can do to make this happen when we bring it to the rest of the team managers and kind of just workshop this and come up with some ideas. And then make the presentation to the city. Say, hey, look, this is what we can do for you to try to help mitigate any damages or anything to the field like that. So keep an eye on that, and I will keep an eye on that for you. I'll keep in touch with John and just bring you the latest when there is something more to report on that. All right, we've talked about the schedule heading down the stretch in the second half of the season, and right now your Sandlots sit at 4-4, looking pretty in second place, with just a few games left to go. Now, with that said, I did talk to John last night about all the rainouts that we had earlier in the season and what the plan is for filling out the rest of the 15-game schedule. And his response was that to the extent possible, we are going to finish out a 15-game schedule, meaning games will be added to the end of the season before the playoffs begin. So I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look. I'm thinking it might be 3 to 4 games that are added on. So we'll extend the regular season out by maybe 3 or 4 weeks. If that's the format we're going to go. I don't know how we're going to handle these. We might have to honestly, at this point, I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. All I know is that 3 to 4 games may add 3 to 4 weeks to the schedule. And going back and looking at these, they may have already been added. I'll have to get a little more clarity from John on that. But I don't believe any of those games are against the Yotes and Stros, just because I think we played 3 of our first 4 games against them, so that should have taken care of any more games that would have been added to the end of the schedule. I think, if anything, it's going to be more against the Rangers and more against the Bulldogs, which is good news for the Sandlots because they've been able to be very competitive against those teams and actually pick up at least 3 out of 4 wins against them. So how is that going to affect the schedule? Well, I kind of feel like at this point there is no catching the Yotes and Stros. They have, just as we do, they have an easier side of the schedule the second half because they will be facing the same Rangers and Bulldogs that we will. So it's just going to be very important for us to take care of business where we should be taking care of business, especially against the Rangers, who, as I've spoken of before, are our biggest competition. We are actually fighting to keep our second place position against the Rangers. So who does that open? Who does that create more opportunity for? Does that create more opportunity for the Sandlots or the Rangers to close that distance, or for the Sandlots to widen the gap? Well, just like the Sandlots are expecting to get more of their big names back as the summer comes to a completion, kids go back to school, events are less and less, vacations are done with. So I think that I feel like all teams will have a more complete roster availability with which to create their lineups. And if you place us head to head, man, it's really hard to call. And that just kind of brings me into something else that I'm gonna talk about in Keys to the Game. But defense is going to be, I think, in the next couple of matchups, it might be just a little bit more on the defense to close out these wins than the actual pitching. Just because when the Sandlots have played basic fundamental baseball without trying to get too greedy or flashy, they've competed well. They've won games handedly. Just because you minimize the opponent's opportunity to score, and you just put the kibosh on any kind of offensive efforts that they may have going on. When you just make your routine plays, you don't throw the ball around. You're not throwing the ball away by being too greedy or just lackadaisical in the way that you're going about your business. And if you're putting runs across, then those add up. So I just think it's imperative that the Sandlots get back to basics. Not that they hit a lot of home runs at all. Nobody does in this league. But the term small ball comes to mind, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is, just playing smart, fundamental baseball. When you have runners on, when you have more runners in scoring position, finding ways to just put the ball in play and, force the defense to make the plays. Last week, we forced the Rangers to make a lot of defensive plays, routine defensive plays that they did not make. At this level, we're not going to make every play. I mean, we're 35 plus, we're 40, 50 years old. The bodies just don't work like they used to. The reflexes aren't there. And so just putting the ball in play and forcing people to make plays on the ball can result in, a lot of runners on base, a lot of runs coming across the plate. So I believe if the Sandlots do that, minimize the mistakes on defense, play smart, fundamental baseball on offense, not try to do too much, and then follow that up with just some good pitching. Just get us through some innings, even if it's a lot of contact. And that's where I'm talking about. The pitchers have got to induce contact. There are no strikeout kings in this league. Even Tim Green, when we have him on the mound, as hard as he throws and as many strikeouts as he is racking up this season, he has been hit hard a few times. Even in this last game, there was a few hard hits off of him. So that's not something that you can just count on to get you a W. It's got to be a whole complete game, good defense, smart fundamental offense, and then just the pitching that we have come to expect from this this pitching staff. Excuse me. So, yes, those are going to be very important going forward. If those things happen, then I am feeling really good about our chances against any team, especially Friday night against the Yotes and Stros, who have not been killers of the baseball this season against us anyways. Not sure who's going to get the start just yet. I'm hoping to get that information to you out before Friday, but we'll see about that. All I know is we have to go out and take care of business the way I know that we are capable of, and everything else will take care of itself. So at this point, I don't think any team has the edge, even with the added games at the end of the schedule. As we head into August, the weather's going to get even hotter. So, man, you step out on that field in that heat, and I feel like anything can happen. It's anybody's ball game, and so I can't say either way. But I will say this, that I know my Sandlots, I know my teammates, and I know that we're going to put everything out on that field and leave it out there against whoever we're playing, and that's a fact. So we'll just have to wait and see Friday night. I know that's not what you want to hear. What you want to hear is the Sandlots are going to go out and handle business. They're going to handle business against these Yotes and Stros who have just kind of just run the league for the past several seasons, and there's going to be a new sheriff in town. So I'd love to believe that with you. So, hey, let's roll with that. Headline number 2 is, all right, check this out, guys. If you've ever wondered what it's like to play at this league, if you're on the fence, if you've heard about it, you think, hey man, that might be for me. Let me go see what I got left in the tank. But hey man, I don't want to get out there and look like an idiot. I don't want to get out there and look like I haven't played for 15 years. Well, guess what? That's happened to all of us at some point, whether it be before we've even made the tryout, once we get to the tryout, once we get to our first game or practice. These things just take some repetition. But our free agent player pool is overflowing. We've got a great bunch. We've got so many, but there's only so many spots on these teams that, look, and we need somebody to step up. If you've got any baseball experience or anything like that, we need managers. We need managers so we can get these guys out of that free agent pool and put them on a team. And we can create more competition, more teams, a bigger division. And that's great for everybody. It's more money for the league. We can do more things. We want to grow this thing. And so if you've ever thought about it, come out and see what we're about. Check out my highlight videos. I've got games posted. You can see what the pitching is like. You can see what the competition is like. But right now, there's more talent floating around the league than we're used to. It's more like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I gotta talk to John more about this, but it's a great position that we're in. I hope to get you guys on some teams, so as we grow this league, there's more opportunity for you guys to play. And you know what, man? This free agent the list is stacked. You need a DH that hits bombs and eats beef jerky like Oxygen. He's out there. You need a strong shortstop with a cannon arm and a questionable attitude. Bingo. Go shopping. I'm sure there's one of them guys out there. But I'm pretty sure that any one of these guys could be a potential all-star for you. We just didn't have enough teams to fill out with them, and so they're kind of just filling in as we need them. But yeah, we just need some managers, man. We want to have a couple more teams in the league. So if you're willing to step up and just kind of do what it takes to just manage one of these teams, even if you don't want to play, I know that there's some stat nerds out there and some baseball nerds that just kind of always wanted to step out of the MLB The Show game and just kind of manage your own team. Well, this is your opportunity to get out there. We give you all the tools to do that. The league president, John Begley, I've spoken with him a few times about this, and they provide all the training. They give you the tools to manage the financial side, collect fees, whatnot. So it's not that hard a thing. And then, you just get to be around baseball. So if you have that interest, if you ever thought about it, please contact us at Fort Worth Men's Senior Baseball League. You can go through the website or shoot me an email at fwsandlots@gmail.com. All right, headline number 3. And this was I had heard of this earlier in the season, but kind of forgot about it because it hadn't been spoken about too much. But there was some rumors about an All-Star game. Now, we do have an All-Star game in at the end of our season or in the middle of our season, one of the two, depending on how the weather has treated us and field availability. Well, this year, there's talk of the All-Star game not being just within our league. When I talked to John last night, he mentioned that there's some noise, there's some soft passive aggressive noise from the league office about a potential all-star game between the leagues. And what league are you talking about? Well, there's another DFW Amateur Baseball Association across town in the Euless Bedford area. I've played in that league on a Wednesday night. It's a very, very cool league. Awesome field to play on, the Texas Legends field in Arlington. And, man, just awesome fields and great time. It's very good competition in that league. So the possibility of an all-star game between our all-stars and theirs, man, that sounds awesome. And I know guys in our league are excited about that as well, even though it's just a rumor at this point. Nothing's been set in stone. I don't even know if there's been hey, yeah, we're definitely going to do this. We just need to work out the details. So stay tuned for that because that's going to be cool. I will let you know when that happens and who your Sandlot All-Stars are. As a matter of fact, we probably will put that to a fan vote in a poll or just have you submit your selections for the All-Star team. So for now, it's just a whisper, but hopefully just going to be booking my sunhat and my stadium chair because with my performance this year, I know I'm not making the All-Star team. But what I will make is the All-Star media team, so I will be there covering that when this happens, if this happens. All right, we talked about the schedule extension, rainouts, and reschedules. Right now, things are we're probably looking for fields and, seeing what we can do as far as availability for people and teams. Not much more on that end, but I will let you know when all of that news is updated. Now, before you start ordering that Division Champs t-shirt, let's also remember this, that the Rangers aren't dead. The reschedulings give them a chance to play spoiler and mix it up. Maybe knock one of us off the playoff ladder if we slip up. So they're the third-party candidate in this ballot box, bro, and they're just reckless enough to wreck someone's postseason dreams. They did that to us last season in dramatic form with a walk-off home run in the playoffs, knocking us out. So we don't want to repeat of that. Definitely not. So that is your headlines. Just want to take a quick moment to let you know that the Hot Corner is powered by Dubby, the only energy bold enough to sponsor a podcast that mentions sunflower seed addictions and bench coach conspiracies. Drink up, fuel up, and we'll see you at Rockwood 1, The Rock. Rockwood 1, Friday, 7:30 p.m., where things might get gritty, lit, or just plain ridiculous. Now, look, I did say that Rockwood 2, that's our home field. That's what we lovingly call the Rock. But the Rockwood complex is a complex of 3 baseball fields. And number 2 just kind of feels like it's home for us. I don't know. Let's ask the other guys about that. But anyhow, field 1 at Rockwood Park, I would say that, man, as many times as we played the Yotes and Stros on that field, they kind of own us on that field. So with them being the home team and playing at on field 1, we're going to say that, we're heading into the Wolf Den. So amateur. But that's okay. They're the Coyotes. So what? We're not afraid, and I'm going to talk what I'm going to talk because this is my show. Mike and all that, man. I love those guys. It's all good. No, it's all baseball love, baby. It's all baseball competition, and whenever I throw shade, it's all in good fun. All right, and that brings us to the final segment of this morning's show, and that is just a look forward at this game against the Yotes and Stros. If there are no more games added against these guys at the end of the season to fill in the rainouts, which I don't believe there is, that this will be the final game against them. And so it is just for a pride point. From a pride point of view, it's just that we feel that we dropped game one. We had them, and I don't want to relive this again, but just a reminder that we had them. I believe it was 4-3 going into the final inning, and then the top, we just had to hold them. We were down to 1 out. There was a soft hit grounder to me that I had to charge on the run, pick up and throw over to first, and just had that thought that many of us do at the last second. It's like, hey, I don't want to screw this up, so I kind of just held back on the throw just a little bit, and it was just enough to sail the throw over first base. They scored 2 runs, and there's the game. It's never fun to be the GOAT, and I'm not talking about greatest of all time. This is the other GOAT, the GOAT that just kind of like comes in and it's just an ass. It turns into a donkey. But that was a tough loss. That was a very tough loss to take for me personally too. But that game was an excellent pitching outing. I believe I pitched that game as well. And Tim, I think Tim Green came in and closed that one out. But just a missed opportunity for the Sandlots. And at this point, really feel like we should be 2-3 against the Yotes and Stros. And if we can get, I know the record doesn't reflect it, but if we can just get a W on Friday night, that would go a long way to just shoring up our confidence against any team in this league, because we know that we've been right there. We should have won that first game. And just going forward, that we have not even just a puncher's chance. We have as good a chance as anyone at beating the Yotes and Stros this Friday. Which brings me to my keys to the game, which I spoke a bit in length a few minutes ago. So, I don't even know if I have multiple keys to this game. The biggest thing that I see is the defense, and everything else will fall in line. But if I have to rank them, then it's going to be the defense, right? Because if you hold the opponent to, if you hold your opponent's scoring opportunities down by making your routine plays, not only are they frustrated, but as we pile on the runs, hopefully become more demoralized and just kind of take the fight out of them early. I believe if that happens, then there's a really good chance that we can turn this thing into a W. Inside of the defensive key is just that we've got to play fundamental baseball. We've got to play, just be smart. Like if you were, just going back to Little League and you're teaching these guys, hey, look, this is the situation that we're in. We've got 2 outs. There's a couple of runners on, so we want to focus on just getting the out. Let's make this guy put the ball into play, and then make our basic routine, even if you want to call it boring, play. Just make the play. Let's not throw the ball around. Let's not get fancy. Not that we ever get fancy at all, but we've got to take care of the baseball a little bit more. Be smarter when we try to just make something happen. When we're trying to throw runners out, catch them unaware or not paying attention and stuff like that. There will be those opportunities, and those are the ones that we do have to capitalize on if we're able to. But we've got to be smarter when we do that. Let's not try to make it happen. Let's just capitalize when it does happen. It's that old adage where victory is where preparation meets opportunity. So we've got to be prepared. We've got to be on the lookout for these opportunities, but also be smart and just kind of pick and choose where we want to take those chances, just to minimize any opportunity, any free opportunities. We don't want to give them any chance to just walk up to the next base or give up a run on throwing a ball away or something like that. So we just gotta plant and throw when we make. This is for me personally. I even though Bruce is on a vacation right now somewhere in the Caribbean, I can still hear his voice echoing. Plant and throw, because I have a tendency to rush my throws before I am ready to throw. Normally, it'll work out for me, but let's just say, if everybody's going to be on this train, if everybody's going to be on this bandwagon, then let's all have the same mentality of just getting back to basics. And that is where we're going to win the game. Pitching is a close second. Again, we do need a good start on the mound and someone that's going to get us some innings, get us through, because if we get into that situation where we're just having to throw guys onto the mound, really quick consecutive orders because nobody's really hitting the strike zone or doing well on the mound, that's going to put us in a tough place. And not knowing who's going to be available Friday night, let's just say we have another 9-man lineup. Man, that just makes it super challenging for anybody making decisions to just make those decisions. You don't have a whole lot to choose from when you have 9 guys, only maybe 2 or 3 of which can actually take the mound and pitch. So what do you do in that situation? So hopefully we don't find ourselves in that situation, and hopefully Derek doesn't have to deal with that. But that is yet to be seen. And then offense. Guys have just been coming through in the clutch in places where they really weren't expected to. It's like, just expecting the normal results, which aren't always bad, but just guys just overperforming in certain areas has helped us get these last 2 W's. And so we need more of that. Nothing big, no big firework, stuff like that. We got guys that can do that, and they will. But I'm talking about guys at the bottom, the middle of the lineup, showing up and just contributing, putting the ball in play, making things happen. Because when you put the ball in play, anything can happen, just like we saw Friday night against the Rangers. So let's get more of that. Let's get more people involved. Let's see. We'd love to see guys just stepping in and stepping up, man. All right, that's my keys to the game this week. You have been wrapped up. Rapid style, I think. I don't know if I made my time now. It looks like I went way over. But, hey, that's okay. I love spending time with you guys. So, we did it. We got you wrapped up. Now you are ready for this Friday night's game. Sandlots versus Rangers, 7:30 p.m. at Rockwood Park. Beautiful Rockwood Park, just outside of downtown Fort Worth, off of University Street. It's really beautiful when that sun starts going down. The skyline is all lit up, and the area is just a buzz with Friday night activity. We're right close to the 7th Street, and so a lot of stuff going on with the college kids down there. It's just a buzz. So it's cool to come out, hang out with us, catch a beautiful sunset, and come see your Sandlots grab another W and possibly set a team record for consecutive wins. Man, that's just another incentive for us to go out and handle our business. So, yeah, that's it for this week's Hot Corner edition. Rain delays, roster swaps, and rescheduled revenge. All part of the plan, baby. If you're a Sandlot, strap in. If you're a Yote, get comfy because we're coming. And if you're a Ranger, hey, there's nothing more dangerous than a team with nothing to lose and everything to ruin. So that goes double for the for the Bulldogs. Watch out for them as well. There's nothing like a dog that's just been cornered and it's just waiting for the opportunity to strike. So I'm Dez, and this has been The Wrap with Dez. Remember, second place is just first place for people who like drama. See you Friday. Bring your glove. You might need it.